Wait, let me give this chair. Have you announced it? Comrade Governor.
Have you announced it?
You're welcome. Let's begin this way.
Please be careful with sounds.
What and where did you meet Edo State when you became governor about 3.5 years ago? What did you meet on ground?
Well, that is well, family question. I think in a sense we can say that Edo State was a place that was completely run aground in every facet of life. The infrastructural situation was in terribly bad shape. Roads in Benin City were not passable, and people were scared once it threatens to rain because of the serious problem of flooding. Not a few were stranded around the Tom Line, traditional ground, 5 Junction, once it rained, even for just 5 minutes. There were many families who lost their children to flooding right from their bedroom. And on the educational sector, it was children were completely abandoned. In short, education was privatized by default, in the sense that the government completely divested from public education. And the result was that even the poor had to struggle to send their children to much-room private schools. The health sector was not better off. The Central Hospital in Benin that was built in 1903 has not received any major intervention. Across the length and breadth of Edo State, nothing was done. In Esan land, water remained a very critical problem. Many rural communities were not connected. Their schools were the same as those of Edo South as in Edo North. Many communities in Edo North had given up that it was their fault, or rather, as they say, the fault of their ancestors to have chosen to live where they found themselves, because they were told it's impossible to have them connected with the economy of the state through road network. Workers work a couple of times for months without being paid their salaries. Pensioners are known to have protested and died without pension being paid. So both the social sector, the infrastructural sector, everything was in bad shape. In fact, Edo had been dismissed as an unviable entity. Its politics had been privatized by few individuals who are accountable only to themselves, and only they decide who becomes a councillor, who becomes anything in the politics of the state. Rigging was taken as given. People were imposed by a few individuals for councillors, for chairmanship. So both in terms of the politics, the economy, infrastructure, you name it, everything was posted negative. And Edo people seem to have resigned their fate. They had given up that there wasn't anything they could do about the fact of election rigging, the fact of imposition of people on them, the state of infrastructure. There wasn't anything they would do about it because they were passionate to believe that this thing was too poor. You couldn't find one functional dual carriageway in Benin City. There was not one road in Benin City with street light. There wasn't any one public school that you can truly describe as a school. Our children were sitting on bare floor, and even at that, they didn't have enough bare floor on which to sit. I visited a couple of schools where the teacher showed me how they were alternating. You have primary 1 to the left of the classroom, primary 2 to the right of the same classroom, and the teachers alternate. And even at that, the classroom has no roof, and those pupils were sitting oftentimes on broken bricks, where there were bricks at all. In some other situations, they were sitting on the floor, but even floor with potholes. So across the length and breadth of Edo State, the story was the same.
This story that you are painting seems very gory. Now, 3.5 years down the line, some people still say that we have not, or the Edo people still have not departed from the misrule of the past. They categorize the administration alongside those same administrations of the past, and they have not stopped giving up. Why is it that you are seeking a second term if, as they say, nothing has changed?
Unless you are living in the bedroom of one of the political parties, particularly the one that presided over the liquidation of Edo State. It's only people in that, cycle that can speak the way you have spoken. I mean, the fact is that even on your way to these premises, you'll find that the proper road that leads to this place, with those funny roundabouts that they used to have there, is now 6 lane. And we now have street lights all the way from Ovorame Square through Akpakpaba through the river all the way to NNPC. So how could you say nothing has changed? I mean, you don't have to approach it, except if you are taking the PDP point of view as the people's point, and that would be grossly mistaken. It's also not a secret that we can show you effortlessly in every ward, in every local government, beautiful schools that we have built. So beautiful that very ordinary people refer to them as universities. And I'm talking of primary schools. Even children are able to point out the difference between the blackboard they were used to and the whiteboard that we now have in all our primary schools. In Esailand, the young man described the schools under the PDP as a place where goats live, and described the new ones that look like America. And people ask, have you been to America? He said, they heard from watching movies how America looks beautiful. So where are you coming from? So I think along the length and breadth of Edo State, we have registered our presence. If you want me to enumerate them, look at Sapele Road. It's now 6 lanes. 6. There was not one 6 lane anywhere in Edo State. I'm sure you know that. Complete with street light, with road markings, with traffic light. Edo people have never seen anything like that before. On the airport road, 6 lane under construction. Over the next few months, that should be completed. On Sakoma Road, dual carriageway, now it's complete with street light. Oba Market, if you are familiar with Benin, around this time of the evening, if you are not able-bodied, you rather avoid that area because it was completely taken over by thugs and extortionists. Today is clean up and is complete. 6 lane with street light. Siloko Road was completely unpassable. That area was completely abandoned. Now it is 6 lane all the way from the end of Oba Market down Siloko. As we speak, the second phase, leading through the teacher's house, the 6 lane project is continuing. We are working on a major drainage that is deflooding the entire Ubowo through Selu down to the river. One that will deflood all the adjoining streets. Again, earlier I told you of what people in Benin refer to as the Tomline River. They call it the Tomline River because when it rains under 5 minutes, even you,
that is
your height,
along the Selu Ubowo Road.
Exactly, you can't pass there, even if you are in an SUV car. I mean, this is a farm very well known to Edo people. Today, we have not only deflooded it by constructing major drainage, we are building additional 4 lanes, 2 on each side of the road, to make it an 8-lane road, right from around the University of Benin, down through Adolo, through the traditional ground, Tomline, to connect to Dorsi Road, and to connect to New Lagos Road. I'm talking about New Lagos Road. It is now 6 lane, although it's a federal road, but that road has been abandoned for several years. We have rebuilt it to 6 lanes, complete with street light. I mean, who can tell you that nothing has changed? Dorsi Road, again federal road. The federal government is patching, just resurfacing the old dual carriageway. But we have added additional 1 lane on each side of the road to make it 6 lane. We have completed our part of it, but the federal government is still struggling to resurface the old part, which is theirs. Where the PDP leaders live, the Bemudia, the Heya area, we have about 12 roads there. Even Dr. Bomudia told me he was being persuaded to abandon that area because a lot of his neighbors had left on account of flooding over the past 25 years. That area had been completely abandoned. And we have not just fixed it. We created drains there, some of them as deep as 3 meters, complete with walkways, street light. That was the one commissioned by General Gowan just 2 weeks ago. 30 lanes. There is an area Constantinople Road. This was an official dump site. The Ministry of Health told me that they had to convert it to use to dump site as a measure of controlling erosion, which for me was crazy. But today we're not lamenting it. We clean it up. We've repeated the entire community, about 9 roads there, which we have now renamed Ganifa Himilia. Each of those streets complete with street light, drainage, walkways. I mean, we can go on and on and on. The road to the stadium was before now not passable. We have built the road complete with drainage and walkway. Ask the people who live around the second circular, behind the Baptist church. For 30 years, they could not access Ebony. That is a project that for 35 years, the people have been doing petition to, successive government, including ones that were led by prominent Edo sons and daughters, and those from that area, and nobody gave them attention. Today, from Irua to Ugbegu has been completed, and we are taking the road down to other communities. From Igwebe to Udo, this was a complete art road. Again, this has been completed. From Igwebe to Ewohimi to Ewato, to Okodua to Agadaga. Again, the people there told me they have never seen a road that before that. That has been completed. We built a complete new hospital at Ewohimi. That is a hospital for more than 30 years. Government after government keep playing with the foundation. Just the foundation. Today is completed. Then from there you go to Uromi. From Uromi town to Zenema. Incidentally, the PDP that come from Zenema. One of the first roads we awarded, and it has since been completed. Complete with road markings. Uromi to Uboha. Again, Art Road. As we speak, contractors are working on it. More than 50% completed. In Edo North, Auchi now have a dual carriageway connecting Auchi to Jetu to Afasho, complete with street light. Dual carriageway for the very first time outside Benin City. Then you have in Onwa area, from Ihereogbe all the way to Otuo. This is a road that was built about 1950, connecting a number of communities, farming communities that have been abandoned. That road is 95% completed. The hospital at Otuo has been completed. And we are building a road that connects the two Onwas, between Onwa West and Onwa East. Before they have to go through a roundabout to travel from one Onwa to the other. The Hiki Road, this one as we speak, is more than 60% completed. In each of the 18 local government areas, we built a number of ultra-modern primary schools, junior secondary schools, and senior secondary schools. In addition, we have abolished school